let's talk about the basics of strumming. So, no matter how strumming or rhythm impaired you think you are, I promise you that by the end of this, you're going to totally understand what you need to do to be just a ninja at strumming, okay? This, of course, takes practice, but I'm going to show you kind of the tips and the secrets here to do this super well, okay? So, remember when we were talking about quarter notes and eighth notes, that when we put our foot on the ground, when it's a downbeat like this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, that's known as a quarter note, okay? So a real basic strum is when we go strumming on the downbeat, okay? That's just quarter notes. If we're doing eighth notes, then we're going to hit it on the way up too. So, okay. The basic thought about strumming is for every downbeat, that's where you would strum. And up beats, you would do an up strum. Okay? Really important to understand this fundamentally, because anything that you do, any strum that you do, you're going to run into some issues sometimes where you won't know, is it up or down? And so just think, down strums are on the downbeat. Up strums are on the upbeat. That's 99% of the time. There's some variations that we'll talk about later on, but really the majority of the time that's it. Okay? So what I want you to do is take your fretting hand and lay it on the strings just as light as a feather, so that when you do strum, you just get this percussive sound. Remember, what we want to do is we want to isolate different parts of our technique so that we can concentrate on the one. So right now I don't want you to worry about a chord or anything. I want you to just be concerned with the strumming hand. Okay? So let's do this again. I know this, for some of you this is elementary, but walk through this with me and I promise you it's going to pay off. Okay? So doing downstrokes on the downbeat. So we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Always good to count when you're doing your strumming, even if it's, you know, in your head. Always good to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now when we're doing the eighth notes, we would count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? Or we could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But that would be a song that's in 8. So we'll count it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in. Okay? Now there's something called a ghost strum, and that's when you go past the strings, but you don't actually hit them. So you know this already because you've done it if you did the 1, 2, 3, 4, because we're bringing our hand up again, but we're not actually hitting the strings. So that's a ghost strum. So on the upbeat, we're doing ghost strums. And on the ands. Okay. So, you know that one. That one comes pretty naturally. Let's start getting a little bit more complicated here. So let's leave out the and of 4 this time. Okay, so we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? Easy enough, right? Now notice that I'm not going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. I'm not leaving my hand down there, okay? You don't want to do that. You want your arm to move like a grandfather clock, you know, whether it's hitting strings or not. It needs to keep moving like a pendulum, okay? If you find yourself stalling down here, do real exaggerated movements, super big, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That will help a lot, okay? So, let's do a little bit more complicated one now. Let's leave out the ands of 3 and 4, okay? So, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? So whenever you're doing any of these strumming rhythms, you want to do them slowly. You want to take your time, mute these left, mute your fretting hand so that you can just get that nice percussive sound and just concentrate on the strum. Okay? Let's try one that's even a little bit more complex, and this would be leaving out a downbeat. Okay, so for this one, we're going to leave out the down of 4. I'm sorry, yes, the downbeat of 4. So this, we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, so on the 4, don't hit the strings. It's going to look something like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? The downbeats, when we leave the downbeats out, it takes a little bit more getting used to, so take your time with these, okay? I want you to refer to the attachment that's related to this video with all the different strumming rhythms. Do them in order, take your time, try to move as smoothly as possible, meaning don't go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2. Don't stop or stall in between your strums. Keep rolling, okay? So like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and there should be no pause in between your measures, okay? And then work it up, levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you start getting to level 3, that's when we start leaving out some of those downbeats, and it gets a little bit hairy. So take your time, keep rolling, and we're going to be looking at some more strumming and rhythm videos here.